Canucks, Predators, Stars, Golden Knights. We've got sides, props, totals, you name it, right here on PuckTime, powered by WagerTalk TV. Guys, welcome in. Happy Friday. I'm Andrew. I've got Carmine with me. We've got two games to break down from a betting standpoint. Can't wait to hear what you all have to say as well in the comment section about these games tonight. And of course, more hockey on Saturday. We'll also be talking about some of those games on a show tomorrow. So guys, look out for that on the network. But Carm, good morning to you, my friend. What are your thoughts? Vancouver and Nashville.
Yeah, this is another one of those series, Andrew. Does it go back to Vancouver for Game 7? We saw what happened yesterday in Toronto. We have one Game 7. Let's see if we can get another Game 7 as well this weekend in one of these two series. This is one that I have to believe this has probably been the most competitive series of all of the ones that we've seen thus far. Much more than the one we're going to discuss, the Dallas-Vegas one, much more than the Toronto-Boston one. This has been competitive each and every game. And competitive doesn't mean exciting, because we haven't had a lot of goals in this one as well. I think only one of the 5 games thus far stayed under the total. When I looked at this one, you can look at the total. You can look at even the first period numbers. Andrew, there hasn't been a lot of shots on goal in this series. We saw with Vancouver, they made that furious comeback to come back from, down 3-1 to score a couple goals, send that game to OT, and eventually win it. But at one point, I think in the third period, they had 13 shots on goal. They finished with 22, I believe it was. First period under. I'm looking at the first period under in this one. I think another tight game between these two teams, especially Nashville at home. Saros is playing extremely well. And Vancouver's playing well in front of DeSmith. And it looks like he's the starting goalie tonight. Goalies haven't been confirmed as of yet, but we know it's going to be Saros for the Preds. Under 1.5 first period is minus 120. Unless we have penalties in the first period, and it's been pretty much a penalty-free series compared to some of the other ones, I just don't see a lot of goals in this game and a lot of goals in the first period. So I'm going to go under first period in this one.
I like that under first period, Carm, because who knows what's going to happen in these third periods with empty net goals, with some of the, the absolute mysteries of these teams, and the way that a game can just go crazy in the end. You almost want to focus on the first period, look for a tight checking defensive performance. Hard to blame you for what we've seen so far to look towards an under and look towards an under early on in the game. For those of you guys that didn't catch Prop It Up this morning earlier, I will mention one of the plays I mentioned on that show, Carm, was under 23.5 saves for UC Saros. And we haven't given out too many save props during the playoffs, but he's gone under in 5 straight games here against this Vancouver Canucks team. And a big reason is not because he's playing poorly and not saving the shots. He's just not getting the shots. We talked about it. There was one game where he had 13 saves, 17 saves, 18 saves. I mean, this isn't even getting close to 24 saves. And I get it. Maybe power plays, maybe the desperation for Vancouver will lead to more shots on goal. But the fact of the matter is, when you see how they're parking the bus, how Nashville gets the lead, the way they're playing defense in the playoffs, it's a lot harder to get those chances. You're blocking more shots if you're the team trying to protect a lead. You're the team trying to close out a series. I mean, one thing we talked a lot about betting overs on teams that were already out of the playoff position before the playoffs started. Those teams weren't sacrificing their body. They weren't jumping in front and blocking shots because, hey, they had nothing to play for. We can certainly say this Nashville Predators team, they still know how dangerous Vancouver are offensively. So I think under 23.5 saves for UC Saros is a great one to look at. And, Carm, I said a couple days ago to you that I think that Vancouver correlates with the over and Nashville correlates with the under. But I have to change my mind on that because I think both teams at this point can correlate to the under. I really do. I think that if Vancouver gets the lead, they're going to want to protect it too. We'll see them really slow the pace down and try and control the game that way. The only outlier to this total going over, I think, would be a ton of power plays, power play goals. These teams can be lethal when they get going on it. But I like the under just like you. I am going to look towards the full game, but I completely understand looking at that 1.5. And this is the thing. I was tempted by Vancouver today, but if you look at the series as a whole here, Carm, I mean, one could kind of argue that Nashville's been the better team through 3 of the 4 games this series. There was the game that Vancouver had to come back and win in overtime. Of course, you look at the second game where the Predators won 4-1. You look at obviously the most recent game where it was the low-scoring 2-1 victory. It just seems like to me that Nashville has been able to play their style. They've been able to play their game over the Vancouver Canucks, and they've had a lot more success. So I'm very curious about the style of hockey we'll see out of this Vancouver team here. I'm curious what we'll see out of guys like Besser, out of JT Miller. How will they perform? But Carm, I'll throw it back to you. Do you believe that Vancouver can win this game in a low-scoring fashion, or do you think that if I told you the game ended 3-1, you would tell me that's probably a Nashville win?
No, because they did it, Andrew. They did it in Game 3. That's the game in which I think it was DeSmith in goal. The game finishes 2-1 in Nashville for the Canucks. 12 shots on goal in that game for the Vancouver Canucks. So you look at the Canucks: 21 shots in the first game, 18 in the second, 12 in the third. 21 in Game 4 and 20 in Game 5. 21 is their ceiling thus far as shots on goal. How does that change? And it's not because they aren't trying to get shots on goal. It's Nashville has done a very good job of locking them down as well too, and that's why we're where we are in this series. I just don't see how you can make a case for a high scoring game based on any of the analytic numbers that we've seen thus far, even the XG numbers for the goals that have been created, or the XG numbers for the expected goals, of course. Only one game, and I think it was the 4-3 game. That's the only game with high numbers. It's crazy the way this series has gone. I just don't see how it's any different tonight. If these teams play 5-on-5, of course, when you get 5-on-4 situations because of penalties, everything is skewed. It can change, especially if a power play gets hot. But 5-on-5, I just don't see how this game has a ton of goals. Vancouver's still going to protect their goalie, DeSmith. When they have Demko back there, it's obviously a little different. But he's done for this series, and we don't even know if he's going to be available should they advance to the next round for that series. So against the Edmonton Oilers. But the save props, I like the save props. If you look at what was the number, 24.5 saves, Andrew, there's not one game that it's gone over that number. And those are shots against, not including the goals that have gone in. So his saves have been pretty much 19 or under, I think you were saying, somewhere around there. So it's not a bad way to go.
That's what's funny about those save props, right? I mean, you get a couple goals in there, it really helps you out because, obviously it doesn't count as a save if it goes in. So if they have a bunch of shots, but if they end up scoring 3 or 4 goals, you're feeling pretty good if a couple of those shot opportunities end up going in the net. Carm, looking at this series as a whole right now, taking a look at the live series prices, you take a look at the plus 270 on the underdog side compared to the price we're seeing at home right now. Is it worth jumping in on any series futures for people that are looking to get in as far as the underdog, or would you say to just play it game by game? What any thoughts on that really quick? I know you've done really well with these futures.
Yeah, the one future, actually I have 2 futures left. So I have Vancouver right now to win this series, but I took them at the beginning. They're minus 330 right now. If I wanted to get out of that wager, I easily could by taking Nashville plus 270, but I've got 2 chances with Vancouver. So I will play the cards that I have. As far as that one goes, the Vegas one, it's unplayable, I think, at this point, unless you like the Vegas Golden Knights. And If you think Vegas wins tonight, then Game 7, anything can happen in Game 7. The Leafs series price when they were down 3-1 was plus 300 in that one. Actually, I think it was higher. Prior to last night's game, I think it was plus 300. And now you look at that series and it's a coin flip. So, but the thing is, Andrew, would you play? I don't even think it's worth playing going into yesterday's game. It was worth playing the Leafs at plus 300 to win the series because they were even money plus 105 going into yesterday. And I think if you were to take it on a game by game basis, you bet the Leafs and then you roll it over on the Leafs in Game 7, which they're going to be an underdog once again, but not a big underdog. I'd probably see them at plus 110, plus 115. I'm not even sure if the line is out yet. I can check that quickly. That would pay more than getting 3-1 on your money, I believe. So with that said, the Leafs are plus 120 right now on Saturday night. I will say this, Andrew. I got to throw this one in there, man. The Leafs are ruining things for me. I'm a season ticket holder for Toronto FC. I'm supposed to go downtown tomorrow. I'm taking a friend of mine to the game. How do I watch Game 7 and watch a soccer game? I'm going to have to convince them that I'll take them to another game. I'll give away these tickets and watch the Game 7s. You can't miss Game 7s. Unless you're getting married or something like that, or it's someone's birthday. The Prez is not watching Game 7. He's not watching Game 7 of the Leafs game. It's his dad's 80th birthday. He sent a message that he's turning off both his and Vivian's phones and PVRing it. I'm like, there's no way you're not going to hear about how the game went before you get home and watch the game. So,
you know what we'd be doing on my dad's 80th birthday, Carm? My dad's 80th birthday, we'd be watching the game together. That's what we'd be doing for his 80th birthday. Yeah. So it's, it wouldn't be don't check the scores of the game. It would be we have to watch the game. So I'm happy that my dad loves hockey because that's what we'd be doing is watching the game together, not trying to hide myself from watching the game. But it's going to be awesome. And for what it's worth, 2 straight victories for the Leafs in Boston. So, hey, they got to have confidence playing in that building, but it's hard to win. We'll talk about this more in the video we do tomorrow, but I will say Jim Montgomery, is he on the hot seat, Carm? If he loses this series, a coach, first round, back-to-back, 3-1 blown leads. There's 2 very interesting storylines here because it would be like a lot of Game 7 losses for this Maple Leafs team in the playoffs, but it would also be back-to-back 3-1 blown series leads for the Bruins. So which coach gets fired? We'll find out Saturday night.
Yeah, it's I think their last 3 series that they've played in between these teams in the first round of the playoffs, I think it's the first round of the playoffs, have gone to 7 games with Boston winning Game 7 at home. So it sets up for another Game 7. I'm not saying the Bruins are going to win at home, Andrew, but the Leafs are beating Boston at their own game. That's how they're beating the Bruins. They're playing the Bruins type of game and beating the Bruins. The first couple of games in the series, the Leafs tried to play a game that it just didn't make sense, and they split those 2 games to come home. And I couldn't understand the way they were playing at home in those games, and they lost those as well too. But the last couple of games, Matthews out of the lineup, next guy up, next man up. The big guys came out. Nylander, by far the best player on the ice, and he scores both goals in that one. And the Leafs beat them at their own game, and now they go back to Boston. And who's to say they can't beat them again? We're going to talk about that one tomorrow, guys. Andrew and I are going to do a live video where we'll be talking about the Game 7 tomorrow. Andrew will let you know what time that goes on, and that'll go live on, I believe, live on Twitter. Andrew, I want to mention a couple things real quickly. Coach in our chat, thank you for letting me know your shirt arrived. He won one of the PuckTime Be a Goldfish. John Marchese, I said to him yesterday, if the Leafs win and Nylander gets over 3.5 shots on goal, you will get a shirt as well. Well, 5 shots on goal for William Nylander, and the Leafs won. So send me a message on Twitter, send me a DM, and I'll get a shirt out to you later today. Andrew, I got to mention one more thing. I'm not sure if our producer can get this up, but I didn't even know that the Boston had scored a goal with 0.1 seconds left in the game. 0.1 second left in the game. And a friend of mine, Garnett, this is actually, it's not his ticket, but I think it's his nephew's ticket. So this ticket had the Leafs it was a same game parlay where he had $100 bonus, and he used it on a 20 to 1 same game parlay. William Nylander anytime goal, Leafs to win, and Geeky to score. So that goal that was scored with 0.1 seconds left by Geeky was the turned that ticket into a winner. Literally 2K won on a goal that's scored with 0.1 seconds left. So congratulations to him. And I thank my producer for putting up the graphics. He's just a fantastic Philadelphia Eagles fan. Whatever. Anyways, Andrew, I'm done with them. I'm done with them. I'm done with our producer.
I love it.
I can't wait till he messages me
on
for some MLS pick. Whatever.
If it was in the PuckTime Slack, Carm, it would have been on the screen. You sent it to me in a private message.
Well,
and the listeners can hear this.
I love it.
They hear me telling you. That
I know they can hear you.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
There you go. It's in the PuckTime Slack now. There you go. I sent it.
On that note.
Yes.
I was going to just shout out the guys tuning in live. That's all I was going to do. Let's give some shout outs.
You do it. Give some shout outs.
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Carm.
No, I got nothing to say. I'm done.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Andrew, listen. I ran into a couple other guys who watch WagerTalk TV last night. They're big fans of this show. They watch all the other shows. WagerTalk Today. They love Rob Vino. There's the ticket there, so you guys can see it. Morgan Geeky with a goal with 0.1 seconds left. But it's always great when you run into people who watch the show and they just give you your opinions on stuff. I like this about the shows. I don't like this about the shows. But as a whole, it is very positive on the info that goes on these shows, but also on the free play videos where if you're not subscribed and you don't hit that bell, you're missing on. There's a ton of free play content that goes on here. No one is forcing you to go to the site and grab play packages or whatever. If your bankroll doesn't support it, then there's a ton of free play information on this site. Do with it what you may. You may agree, you may disagree, but at least try and learn a person's thinking patterns on how they get to a play. And a lot of it is there. Guys like Steve Merrill, you'll see it in their videos. So I just wanted to mention that. And now we got the Vegas Golden Knights and the Dallas Stars to talk about.
Yeah, I think Kevin Leary Sr. is about moments away from leaving us here, Carm. If we don't get to the Vegas game, he's like, Andrew, come on, let's get it going here. So shout out to Kevin, shout out to Taylor, Russell, our guy Sean Alvarez, John, FB coach, Paul, all kinds of guys in here live with us. As Carmine said, please hit the bell, subscribe to our channel, show us some love. Let's get those likes up, guys. We only have like 25 likes here on this video. Vegas and Dallas going head to head, Carm, in this one. This series has been so interesting. We've had the road teams having success. We've had some of the star players showing up. We've had a change of goaltenders. I made a point to mention this, and I'm curious your thoughts on this, Carm. I truly believe that if you make too many trades or you make too many pickups, there's a chemistry problem on the team. Vegas right now does not have a talent problem. It seems like they might have a chemistry problem. They've got so many guys, so many cooks in the kitchen, and they don't know whose job is who. The coaching staff doesn't know who to put on what line with who. Every single game, there's been different line pairings. A different guy is being scratched. To me, that is not a healthy thing for a team in the playoffs. You should be able to show up to the game, show up in the locker room, look at the whiteboard, and know who the guy to your left's going to be and who the guy to your right's going to be. Right now, Vegas, man, I think that they're dealing with too many different chemistry issues that are kind of hurting them right now. And Dallas has been playing some really, really great hockey. What do you think about this game tonight, Carm? Are you back in the road team? You taking the home team tonight? What do you think?
Andrew, I'm going to have another one of those Andy Lang on Friday, same game parlays, but I am going to mention it in a second. This series should be over. I know there's a lot of people that watch this show that are Golden Knight fans, but you can't tell me that a team that in watching these 5 games that the Dallas Stars haven't been better than the Vegas Golden Knights in at least 4 of them. They lose game 1. Every statistical number was in their favor. They dropped game 2. And since then, this offense has just come alive again. They're going at Vegas, and Vegas has not found a solution on how to stop Dallas. And this isn't stopping them like you would stop the Edmonton Oilers that score 5, 6, or 7 goals a game. The Dallas Stars are making good on every opportunity that they have. You look at Andrew, some of their analytic numbers, and in games 3 and 4, they had over 5 xG created in each game. Game 5 at home, they create another almost 4 xG in that game as well too. Vegas just 5-on-5. Vegas just can't play with this team right now. They haven't found a way to stop Dallas. They're rolling right now. Momentum is with them. The best thing the Stars can do is close it out tonight, because you have a team down. You have your foot on their throats. You need to end them tonight. And I think they do it. I think they go in there and do it, unless Vegas somehow finds their game. You can't tell me, if you've watched the last 3 games of this series, that you think the Vegas Golden Knights have been unfortunate not to win one of them. No, Dallas has been the better team in 3 straight games, and they got Vegas on the ropes. They just need to put them out. It's like one of those Rocky versus Drago ones where you just keep hitting them, chop them down. And they are chopping down the champs right now. Can they do it tonight? I think they can. As far as same game parlays, so Jason Robertson is playing extremely well for Dallas right now. 4 of the 5 games, the guy has scored a point, at least a point. 4 of the 5 games, he's gone over his shot prop. The problem is his shot prop at 2.5 is minus 166. It's too high to play. His over half a point to register at least a point tonight, minus 180. Too high for me as well too. But if you put those 2 together in the same game parlay, you're getting plus 134. And that price I like, plus 134. Robertson to record at least a point and at least 3 shots on goal. So that's the same game parlay, Andrew, on this one. What are your thoughts on that?
I like it. You know, that's the thing. It's some series right now, the star players are being the stars. You need to find a way to make money off these star players. Earlier in the day, I was talking with Andy Lang, and he said Jack Eichel to record a point has been a solid bet for him. He likes it. You know, those star players like you talked about, man, those star players, Robertson, Eichel, Marchessault even, and even looking at Wyatt Johnston, as you were talking about these guys, man, they're performing on a night in, night out basis. And it's kind of something that I've tried to get better at, because for a little while I was looking at the second, third liners that were minus 110, 120. But just because a guy is a better price doesn't mean that they're worth a bet, because, you know, if they're a better price, it might be for a reason, right? It might be because they're not scoring as much. So you can still find a way to make a bet on some of these teams and look at the star players despite some of the juiced up prices they do have. Carm, I'm not usually a numbers guy on the show, but crunching some of these numbers here on the game, this is at DraftKings. I'm seeing the Stars here on the road favorites, minus 115 on the money line, full game. Now you look at the first period, the Golden Knights are minus 120 favorites in the first period. To me, that tells me everything I need to know, because as I've always stated, you pretty much know after the 10 or 15 minute mark of the first period which Vegas Golden Knights team you are going to get. And yeah, they did drop both games at home last time out. There's no denying that. but they're back at the Fortress here. This is where they play their best hockey. This is where they've been comfortable. I know their home ice advantage wasn't as great this regular season as it has been in years past, but I still feel confident that we're going to see the best effort the Vegas Golden Knights can possibly have at home in these opening 10 minutes. I have a lean towards Vegas first period on the money line at -120. I also like the over 1.5 goals in the first period. I think this is going to be a fast start here. As much as I did kind of think that Vegas had to play defensively in order to win this series, they need to get on the board. They need to get on the board fast. I think the longer they go without scoring, the longer they go without creating offensive chances, the more it benefits Dallas trying to put a bow on this series and wrap things up. So, Carm, I'm sticking with the first period play here with the Vegas Golden Knights. Look, they're underdogs on the game, but they're favorites to win the first period. That tells me something here. And I'm going to ride with the books here on this one and go with Vegas first period on the money line, two-way line. What are your thoughts?
What are my thoughts? Well, my thoughts and prayers go out to you with this ticket that you're about to play, because I'm not really sure if I like it or not. But no, all kidding aside, the one thing, and we talked about it, I think the last time they played, I said to you, how confident do you feel about the Vegas Golden Knights with Logan Thompson in goal? I'm not. They ended up going with Aiden Hill, and he didn't look any better in that game. Andrew, it is just, listen, the Vegas Golden Knights aren't getting, and you can make this argument any way you want, but the Vegas Golden Knights aren't getting the goaltending that they got last year in their run to the Cup, their epic run to the Cup, in which they obviously beat Florida in the finals. Aiden Hill played lights out, but they're not getting that. And we don't know who starts tonight, because it's showing Logan Thompson, but it wouldn't surprise me if it's Aiden Hill in goal tonight at home. So I'm just not confident enough in a battle of goalies. If it comes down to a battle of goalies, I would rather take Jake Ottinger than Aiden Hill or Logan Thompson, just the way they're playing right now. So that's the decider for me. Dallas are playing extremely well. They're getting the goaltending, and they've won the analytics battle 4 or 5 games. This series should have been over already, but it's not. And we'll see what happens. To your point of Vegas losing a couple games, and then are they going to lose like a third straight game at home in this series? The same thought could have been done with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They lost games 3 and 4 at home to the Boston Bruins. They come back yesterday, game 6. The Bruins are favored. Austin Matthews is out of the lineup. The line went from the Leafs -115 to the Bruins -130. After that news came out, a real line movement based on one player being out, and the Leafs put together a perfect game to win one at home. So we'll see if the Vegas Golden Knights can do it tonight, but I don't have confidence in it. So we'll see. That's why the games are played, man.
Well, and for that reason, Carm, it's why I'm playing the first period, because I don't have confidence in them either to win the full game. So I just feel like I'm going to know. I'm going to know after the first period what team I'm getting tonight from the Vegas Golden Knights. Carm, right now, WagerTalk.com, buy a 7-day pass, get 11 days. So it's a great deal right now. We've done month deals, we've done 90-day deals, we've done full yearly deals. This is a great one, a 7-11 special. 11 days for the price of 7. We've got NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. We've got UFC action going, European soccer, American soccer, Canadian soccer. So much going on, Carm, but what do you have planned this weekend?
Yeah, 4 plays up in NHL tonight. 2 game plays and 2 prop plays. You can get those over at WagerTalk. That's a great deal, the 7-11 deal. The soccer cards will be up. NHL Game 7, of course, will be up before tomorrow, and the opener on Sunday between the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. Andrew, I'm looking forward to that series. That's going to be a good one. So a ton of action. Baseball. I'll have a play up for today shortly. 4 straight winners this week with MLB. So let's see if we can keep that ball rolling as well too. Dan, our producer, you did a fantastic job today. Dan's on vacation, Andrew. I don't know who goes on vacation during the playoffs. It is beyond me that this guy leaves and goes on vacation, but he's still producing. So I thank him for that. And by the way, Andrew, next Thursday, it'll probably be Prez in my seat, but I will try and do the show from St. Martin because I'll be on vacation for a week next week. It's the wife's birthday. I'm taking her to St. Martin. I have to take a shot at Dan.
I love it. I love it. Hey, one guy gets a vacation, the other vacation. You guys have all earned it. It's Friday. I'm in a great mood. We got 2 great games tonight. We got a game 7 tomorrow. I hope everybody can cash some tickets. For me, it's going to be just one bet in the MLB. I'm going to have my bets up for the game 7 Bruins Leafs up by the end of tonight. And guys, the NBA continues to roll with the player props. I keep on saying it, but I think I've made more bets in the NBA playoffs than I did the entire regular season. I love these playoffs, love the lines, love the spots, especially for those player props. We'll try and cash those tickets. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit the like button and comment below what you are betting on tonight. But for now, guys, we'll see you next time, tomorrow, recorded version of Puck Time right here on WagerTalk TV.